Hello and welcome back to the on-wrestling and to another edition of Raw Out of 10s. And on the heel of a jaw-dropping SummerSlam that saw Seth Rollins stun the world and become world champion, Raw moved into Brooklyn's Barclays Centre, and we'd obviously hear from Rollins himself as well as much more on the Raw side, but we did kick things off with Seth Rollins and the rest of his stable. Heyman recapped the events of SummerSlam before handing the mic over to Vicky Drury. Shame on every single one of you who turned your backs on me, Rollins said. Shame on every single person in the locker room who tried to stop me from cashing in. They think they're so smart, think they're so clever, before adding he had a plan B. Rollins hoisted his title over the head and said, this is the way forward, this is the vision, firming the name for his faction. LA Knight interrupted Rollins to a thunderous ovation and claimed Rollins did not fake his injury to cash in at Money in the Bank, but rather to avoid beating that he was going to have out of the hands of the megastar. He challenged Rollins to a world title match, to which the heel fired up no. Raw general manager Adam Pearce walked out though and booked it for later in the night with Reed and Breaker banned from ringside. Hello. Before Sheamus and Rusev wrote chapter 3 in their ongoing rivalry inside the ring. The intensely physical match that saw both men unleash their unbridled physicality on each other. Rusev looked to wear Sheamus down, but the Celtic Warrior battled through it and took the fight to the arena floor, where they once again teed off on each other, ultimately unable to control themselves. The fight ended in a double count out and Sheamus 10 beats the battering to the chest of the Bulgarian Brute. The fans were not the only ones dismayed by the result. Those two combatants continued their brawl, fending off security and referees as their hatred for each other proved uncontrollable. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Shame to see it go for a count out, but I wouldn't mind seeing these two go at it again. Before off a backstage confrontation, Penta squared off with Grayson Waller. Early New Day's music played and Kofi and JV made their way to the ring to provide the distraction that allowed Walter to seize control of the match. Penta overcame his opponent's Arsenal, shaking off a jumping knee at one point, and delivering a devastating Mexican destroyer for the win. After the match, Penta made fools on New Day and put an exclamation point on the on-deal with a tope onto the heel. So that's an intriguing little feud we can get used to. But I thought the match itself was alright, if kind of booked a bit randomly. 5 out of 10. We then got the Women's Tag Team Championship rematch between Flair and Alexa Bliss and the Judgment Day after they interrupted the promo from the new champs. Perez and Rodriguez controlled early and often cutting the Queen down and isolating her from her partner. A much needed tag to Bliss did not help matters. The former champions continued their domination of new title holders, looking to regain the gold they lost 48 hours earlier. The return of Flair to the match provided a much needed spark for the babyface, igniting a comeback that included a flipping clothesline and a picture perfect moonsault. As the action broke down, Perez set up for a tope COC that only to be intercepted by Bliss and driven to the mat with his sister Abigail, confirming them as champions. An alright match and probably puts the end on that feud. It was alright, but probably not needed. 6 out of 10. Before we then got Rhea Ripley reiterating her desire to finally defeat Io Sky to become the champion. The former women's world champion responded by telling Mummy she will never beat her. Before Lyra Valkyria told Bayley she needs to escape the Bayley vortex and said they were neither friends nor enemy, and she implored the role model to stay away from her. Whether that will continue, who knows, or maybe we could see a Bayley Becky feud, that'd be good. Before Dom took on Dragon Lee in a preview of Triple Mania where both will challenge El Hijo del Vikingo, also involving El Grande Americano. Later in the match, Lee Rollin appeared to be on his way to victory following a double stomp from the top rope until El Grande Americano appeared. 2 others made their presence felt, including one which caught Lee with a kick to the face, setting up an academic Mysterio victory. After the match, Styles hit the ring and cleared Dirty Dom out, ensuring their rivalry continue. Is that needed? Who knows? But I thought the match was decent enough. Obviously, gave fans a bit of a look into Triple H, which is the point of it, and it did a decent job. I'll give it 5 out of 10. After defeating Lyra Valkyria to retain her Women's IC Championship at SummerSlam, Becky Lynch hit the ring to address her win and look forward. She teased opening the floor to new challengers that backtracked on it, only for Nikki Bella to arrive on the scene. The two traded bows before Lynch took it a step further, responding to comments about her husband Seth Rollins and his lies, taking a shot at Bella's previous relationship with Cena. It was to be Bella laid down the challenger, but the man levelled her to close the show and stand tall. Very intriguing. I'll definitely be interested in the match between those two. Before we got that LA Knight Seth Rollins match that was booked earlier, a back and forth match. It saw each man cut the other off for more than once, countering their trademark offense and doing just enough to avoid defeat. The action spilled to the floor while the Visionary set up to deliver a stomp on the exposed concrete floor. Punk came from out of nowhere, attacking Rollins in search of revenge for the cash in that cost him the world title. Braun obliterated the best in the world with a spear, and with Bronson Reed helped the heels stand tall. Reigns interrupted a show closing celebration though and took the fight to the heels. He laid out Rayner and Breaker, but Rollins escaped unsaved. move. The return of his minions to the ring once again opened a door for the Architect to deliver a response to the OTT. 3 tsunamis from Reed, left reins flying, and ensured a triumphant night for the heels. This was very good. Gets 7 out of 10 for me. Really good match, and enjoyed the ending as well, with lots of stuff going on. Reigns very much in the picture as well, which is great to see. So yeah, 7 out of 10. Overall, Raw this week gets a 5 out of 10 for me. This was definitely not the red hot show I would have expected for a post-PLE edition of Raw. In fact, not until the final 2 segments of the night was there really like a sense of creative urgency. And yeah, just most of it was kind of rehashes of what we really saw. So yeah, I'd say a slightly disappointed episode of Raw this week. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.